The notice arrived at 6:47 a.m. Jerusalem time. A single-page statement signed by the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, stamped with the seal of his transitional government. No ceremony, no press conference, just 274 words that would shift the balance of power across 3 continents. Within hours, emergency meetings were held across Tel Aviv. Intelligence briefings were scrambled. Israeli media blacked out the report. But the African press, they lit up like wildfire, because Traoré's message wasn't just political. It was personal. It wasn't a request. It was a line drawn in sand. And Netanyahu was already standing on the wrong side. Let's rewind. Just 4 days earlier, leaked reports from a confidential summit in Nairobi revealed something explosive. Covert initiatives spearheaded by Israeli diplomats and private contractors aimed at reshaping West African alliances. The operation had a name, New Frontier. But its mission was old: manipulate regional leaders, contain Traoré's influence, and expand economic control. But the leaks didn't stop there. Voice recordings, memo drafts, a diplomatic bacchanal message from Tel Aviv to Abidjan, and buried inside one of those memos. A single phrase that ignited a continent: Traoré's rise must be neutralized before Q4. That's when it happened. The silence. From Ouagadougou, broke Traoré appeared on state broadcast, not flanked by advisors. It's not reading a pre-written script. It's just him standing firm, addressing not only Netanyahu, but the world, and his words: Africa is not a chessboard, and I am not your piece. Then came the notice, a formal demand. Israel must within 30 days cease all covert activity, resource extraction, and political interference within the West African bloc. All military advisors linked to intelligence operations must withdraw. All shell companies operating in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Guinea must declare assets or face immediate seizure. If Israel refused, Traoré warned that a coordinated diplomatic push would follow, calling for the closure of Israeli embassies across 14 African nations. This wasn't just posturing, it was a shot across the bow. And in Tel Aviv, the reaction was swift and divided. Inside Netanyahu's war cabinet, panic met arrogance. Some believed Traoré could be dismissed, that his words would fizzle in the news cycle. But others saw the danger, especially after South Africa, Senegal, and even Nigeria expressed solidarity with Traoré's right to confront foreign influence. Then came the protests from Accra to Addis Ababa. Young people marched through the streets holding signs that read, "Africa will not be moved. Traoré speaks. We listen. Netanyahu, take your hands off our soil." Meanwhile, in Europe, shock turned to calculation. France issued a vague statement urging dialogue and restraint. The EU called for a balanced approach, but the fear was obvious. Traoré succeeded in isolating Israel's grip on African affairs. What other leaders might follow his lead? Inside the African Union, a special session was called. Traoré's representatives submitted a 12-page report outlining years of financial manipulation by foreign contractors linked to Israeli firms. The report was titled Shadow Investments: How Sovereignty Was Sold. It was detailed, precise, and it shook the room. Western diplomats tried to downplay the notice, but intelligence communities didn't. A leaked Mossad analysis described Traoré as the most dangerous non-aligned leader of the decade. Why not? Because of his military, not because of any weapon, but because of his ability to galvanize a continent without begging for permission. Because that's what this is about: power. For decades, African leaders were expected to conform, shake hands, to smile at summits, to take the deals offered, and never question the terms. Traoré flipped the script. He didn't just